Start recording again. Hey, hello everyone. So, who's here? Everyone is. Please don't get it wrong, since currently isn't doing it at all. Apparently. I'm currently working on a circuit build. On the mod list, there should not be something about loaders. Oh, I'm doing creative at the minute, just theory crafting a circuit build. So I've been thinking about the no splitter builds that you've been doing, and I've been doing my own spin on it. I still want to know why, actually, now that you and Buckjar are here, I still want to know why the smelter is better as an 8.8. I don't quite understand why it, like, everything I know about it says that it shouldn't be better. Thought this was the real thing? Oh, it's the real map, but an earlier version of it, a creative version of it. Yeah, I don't understand why this is more UPS than the 8.8, other than the fact that it's just smaller. So I need to spin those. So this is for... what is it? A lot of trains. Makes no sense to you at all? I don't get it. Like, the profiler says the transport line usage is higher for the full beacon. And the only reason it's higher is because the belts are longer. But that... I don't know. I'll have to clock the... The thing is, if I clock same number of output, yeah. So I had... the test map were both 1.1 million for each. In fact, I'll show you. Let's save this. So... full beacon? Oh wait, that's missing creative. It's in the actual creative. Oh well. Yeah, so it's full beacon. I don't think I'm depending on it. If I, oops, wrong one. There. Bring it up. 223, 225. It's always up and down. Quit muting things. Differences in side loading? They may be different. Like, this is what it looks like now. 3 tiles. The side loading is smaller, but it's, about 225, we'll say. 8.8. Factorio on Twitch. Oh, the M key. Yeah, and this is what the 8.8 looks like. So it's more assemblers, it's more inserters. The side loading is actually, in this one, it's actually suboptimal. Actually changed it to do that instead. There, yeah. Yeah, so it's a few less belt doing it that way. But yeah, if I come over to my little perch, push up the game speed, 235. Or 230 to 235. It's not a huge amount better, but there's enough for me to go, why is it that way? Been told by people better? I think it's optimized now to the point where, yeah, this is actually really interesting, Madzuri. From the only reason I can come up with is that because the 8.8 is more compact, there's less belt, so there's less transport line to calculate. So there's a UPS saving there. Yeah, the assumption with the full beacon was that might be worth looking into the update, transport line update and isolation. Transport line overlay. The other thought was that maybe the belts were less compressed over a smaller space. Transport lines. Oh, the original thought I had was that that I was having there was that full beacon was better because it was less assembly machines, less inserters, and when those at the time when I was going in that direction, at least this is just from my perspective. I don't know about other people, but from my perspective, that was a UPS saving. But I suspect that this wins out because it's just smaller. Rounding errors. It's always the rounding errors. Yeah. I mean, I had... So, when you said that 8/8s were... When you've been saying that though... Because you've been saying that for a long time now. Producing, consuming? Yeah. 1.1 million for both. I mean, it's 1.1 here. So there's 400 builds in and out on this map and the other one. So they're both identical. It's just that the footprint... The only difference is the footprint is smaller, and the profiler says there's about 5% difference, 6% difference between the transport lines on the two. You use 8/8 because it's simpler? It is very simpler. I like... Undefined fight in favour of tall beacon. It is now. Like, I think the other thing is too that we've now optimized it to the point where just being compact is now faster. It's interesting, the beacon I thought maybe it was the beacon saving. It wasn't the beacon save. The beacon's it's like 0.0... What did I say? It was 0.02 versus 0.12% of CPU time. I mean, this uses more inserted time. This uses like 17% instead of 15%. Maybe the saving wasn't actually true. I think what happened originally... Mana power assumption. That is true. That is true. Because this one is 11 gigawatts. The other one. There is... The power difference is... It's kind of weird. Because it's like... If you have no beacons, it's... You can actually see this in the calculations because we're looking at the 100 gigawatts originally. 17, so it's nearly double. There's a weird convergence that goes on. Like, I think it's like 3 or 4 beacons. I think it was that transitions it. Oh, this isn't the save one? I don't think it is. Yeah, it was 11 to 17. So it... Nearly double. Yeah, it was significantly more. And that in itself has an inherent UPS drain in it. Which I know you're about to say, and you're right. So this one has full lines going beginning to end. And I know you're going to say, aha, but the 8/8 smelter, it only goes from beginning to end, but I did actually benchmark it. The numbers that I presented last night, 1.5, yeah, that's actually more like that, 1.5. I was thinking 17's almost 22. But yeah, I did change this so that the ore was being generated at the smelter and then deleted at the end of the smelter, wherever it is. A 12 beacon builds use 50% power and space. No, you're right. So the other map, my other map, I used 8/8 smelters because of the space and power demand. I was going to do 12 full beacon, but it was just going to be too big, and the power consumption was worryingly high. Not that I shouldn't say worryingly high because I don't normally worry about power, but it was going to be higher. Yeah, if you do the no UPS reactors, and that's what the transport lines look like. As I say, the only reason I can come up with is that the transport lines are just longer. Yeah, that's the power. It's a non. It, having a higher power demand. It might not be. It might be close to zero, but it's not zero. Once you scale everything up, it's just really fascinating though. Because when I did the full beacon stuff back in 16, they stood out ahead originally. That was why I did them in the Factorio extended map. See how much time I spent on transport line update. Yeah, I need to do. I was using the profiler. I need to do it again with the benchmark. I need to sit down and do some. I need to create some much more focused and constrained test sets. Before I do that. There it is. Yeah, I've gone back onto creative now. Super addictive. I don't do the benchmark nearly as much as I should. Yeah, the thing about benchmarking is you gotta make sure you have good data. You can't just keep throwing just random crap at it. It sort of became, when I started profiling, admittedly I still don't, I'm still not very good at reading the profiler results. So I don't like doing them too much. But when I was doing that, I know there was a few other people from a few other communities that were starting to go nuts with them and you know, junk in, junk out. But they're producing, well, you know, they're getting tons and tons of results, but garbage in, garbage out. What I mean, junk in, junk out, garbage in, garbage out. If you don't have a good set of, a good focused, you know, set of parameters that you want to measure, at some point that thing's going to snap. There it goes. You know, if you don't have the parameters you exactly want to measure, you haven't isolated all your variables and all that, you're not measuring anything useful. The theory I had was that the processing time for each entity wasn't the bottleneck, but the count of entities that had loaded in and out of memory. That scale to be loaded in our memory, a single belt segment costs about the same as a splitter or inserter. Does sound familiar. It's the memory transaction. That's why I don't like big maps, because that puts a bigger load on memory. Memory OC. Demolish you. So yeah, this is my green circuit build now. That. Actually, I want both of those. So much better than Moon. So part of the reason why I was put off of creative was the Mooncat version wasn't that good. What would be super amazing if someone was able to cram... That's the right one. Someone was able to cram 8 input belts down this thing. Because that would save the odd build at the top. But for now, I can deal with it. Can't overclock cache memory. No, not really, no. Speed 3s in the piece. Sure. Just bung some speed 3s in there. Alright. Remember that belt from earlier where I accidentally put put the iron down both sides? Found it. At some point I'm going to see copper. Hopefully, there it is. Oh, I can actually do that now. Just auto deletes them. Keeping number of machines and splitters should be important. What memory speed is. Anything. Is less things. Training splitter for 3 belts. Possibly a loss. I think this playthrough is going to very much be some validation of that. Of those sorts of things, because I'd like to see what UPS this gets to compared to the other base, and then I could replace these with more splitter heavy designs and see what the difference is. Like instead of doing a no splitter one, see what a splitter one does. Try and redesign it to be as compact as possible. I think it's interesting and it's worthy of investigation. Oh yeah, I was going to clean up these. The ones that come down. The way I understood it was that splitters have a lot to interact with. A lot of interaction going on. What if I... that one. I'm just trying to see if I can cram the 8th belt back in. Which means a bit of this business. Could be dumb. Just be like that there. Gee, reach. So stupid. I'm very much determined because I hate this not being divisible by 8 because it means that each pair can take a 282 train or a 28 train. If it's your poison. But that's a spare there. Got around that last time. Oh no, that was hey Hiram, how you doing? That's right, that was the problem originally, was that was in the way. And we couldn't red belt it. Maybe I might just leave that one on the back burner. Until I get this one done. Power of the creative is not to be underestimated. Could just get rid of that one. Those are all wrong as well. Iron Jam? Oh, yep, I see. One of these is... These is out of control. Oh, that'd be why. Yeah, we don't need that. Got a few things. And spawn in a few things. Delicious iron gem. Tastiest. There's still a bit of iron there. So yeah, I've been taking inspiration from... Definitely been taking inspiration from Colonel Will's no splitter builds. First stream I watched today, and I'm running another 3 streams. Love the upgraded internet speed. That's nice. That is a nice thing to be able to do. Irony is delicious. Thank you for that follow. Welcome on in. DFA. Entirely Constance there. Now. Just want to tidy these up a little bit. So you go over there. Kind of want to make use of this lane here and get rid of one of the other ones. Went from 10 up, 10 down, 2 up to 200 down, 10 up. Seeing network and one of the devices limiting you to 130 down, 7 up. That is a significant improvement. There I am, just happy enough to have 40 down, 20 up. Asymmetric internet. Yeah, so even if you think you have symmetric, you don't have asymmetric internet. Oh, I went a bit too far there. One thing providers don't want people to have is symmetric connections. Can only ever get asymmetric in the UK? Yeah, you can only get asymmetric here as well. Because if you're running symmetric, it means you're basically running a host of some kind. Which is why they don't like it. At least that's how I've always understood it. 9 up, 11 down, paying $100 a month for it. Damn. Gonna offload horizontally. How do you mean? How many am I actually missing? Just a 2 or 3? Not 2. No, yeah, 3. Let's take the belts and turn left. So then they would go out and then around and down, which I don't really want to do. Like, I'd rather take the shortest path. Assuming this is actually the right way. I like the circuit Replaces the plate in the input belt. Like the circuit belt replaces the plate. Oh. Yeah, there was the versions 2 prior to this one. We couldn't get as many plate down it. It was a significant hassle. Unloading at the bottom of the build. I thought about that. Yeah, it's a problem as well. Although it is possible. What I'm trying to do is get each one of these, give each one of these, actually I think it's a vertical pair, a wagon each. Oh no, all the wagons are their own. 10 gig for 30 bucks a month. Where has he got the 10 gig from? Where in the world is he getting that? And is he actually getting 10 gig? I doubt that he's actually getting 10 gig for 30 a month. As in, it probably syncs at 10, but doesn't mean he's getting 10, and it doesn't mean he's peering to someone who will actually give him 10. It's like how... Sure, you could probably get that in Japan, it's just it's not going to get you anywhere outside Japan. Like, it'll probably only be 10 gig within Zurich. But that's the thing. 1050s on the 149. Remember how when the whole lockdown thing, worldwide lockdown started, and then Europe's internet instantly died? That's kind of the point that I'm trying to make, is that just because they say they give you that, it doesn't mean you can actually use it. Because if everyone tries to use it all at once, you know, multiply that by even 1,000 people trying to download at their maximum capacity. That's a lot. Even with caching and all that, that's a lot. Yeah, you're on 500, 500, 1,000, 1,000, and everyone all, 1,000 people all want to use it at once. Just 1,000. If you got your 10G to your computer, I mean, good and all to hit your router, yeah. As I say, like, it syncs at it, doesn't mean you're getting it. This is where Australian internet dies. It's a COD Fortnite update. It depends on the provider, that. And where you are. I know a friend of mine, one of his old place was like that. He had Optus cable, and Optus cable just dies all the time because it's so over provisioned. Oh yeah, everyone can have 100 megabit. This was like 2013. Everyone gets 100 megabit. No one can use it. Maybe at 2 AM they can, but at peak time you might get 3. But Optus has always been like that. I remember there's another friend of mine back in his parents' place back in like 2004, 2005. His Optus cable could do 500k a sec, kilobytes a second on a good day. You're a koala fanatic. Someone give sub. Ooh, it's a big ask. Can we? Got any other koalas? I don't know, what do you got? There's a koala. Thing's really annoying. Yeah. Asking for a sub is a bit bold. Traitor? Uh-oh. Is there competing factions wanting gifted subs as well? Want a syphilis bear? Hmm. Anyway, moving swiftly along. Moving very swiftly along. Let's see now. Should probably plug the rest of these in. Realistically, you could just redeem them with channel points. They cost basically nothing. I mean, like, it's... What do they do? Yeah, like 400. Oh, it's 400 points now. I think auto thing. It should be like 200. That arrangement for greens? Yeah, this is this is getting into crazy territory. What I'm doing here. I feel like I'm missing something. Takeaway is 8's better than UPS than 12 beacons. The takeaway is that 8/8s are better. Or if you can eliminate every other possible... If you basically used all of your UPS tricks up to this point, an 8/8 beacon is better from a raw UPS perspective. From a general perspective, 8/8 beacon is better anyway because it costs less, it uses less power, which has a UPS cost in itself. It's less materials, even though it's like a little bit more machine time and inserter time. In terms of a practical game, it's, you know, it's less materials, investment, its payback is better. Have I missed anything, Medzuru, by chance? I think I've covered everything. Sort of, because the more power you need, so for solar isn't quite a zero cost because you need explored map to do it. So if you need, like if you need more power than what, how can I best say this? The more explored map there is, the more memory the requirement is, the more memory the game has to work on. So that there's the inherent overhead there. So if you are using more power, even though it's on solar, but you need a bigger map, physical map to hold the solar, you're still at a loss. You're still losing out because that map has to exist in memory. I'm trying to think of a better way to phrase that, and that's the best I can come up with. Area, yeah. Your solar area is bigger, so you're going to lose out there. Is there 10 there? 9. Missing. Oh, that one. Yeah, so the beacon build, the beacon build itself takes more area because it needs 50% more power-ish, or 40% more power. It needs more explored space. It needs more space for the solar. A lot of people have said that, but as far as I can tell, bigger map just has a lower UPS ceiling. It has, yeah, sorry, not higher. The bigger map is, the lower the UPS ceiling. I've seen that consistently every time. Yeah. area of your build is usually dictated by the extent of required outposts, not factory sprawl. That is true. Going to bed, as you can see, how I want to do a circuit build now. I'm going before I start your own creative map all night. So hey Locator. Yeah, the thing that came up yesterday was that my 8.8 smelter. I was comparing 8.8 smelter with an 8.8 smelter against the full beacon smelter that I did yesterday, and the 8.8 came out better. There's reasons. Started. Right, now I just need to do this to every one of these. Bonk. I'm actually kind of interested to see what you come up with, though. I mean, it could still be horizontal. This is just a few ideas. What does it make? It's currently 16k. Late game, steel smelter I don't care about, bots of belts, trains at this point. Put a steel smelter that works. Does anyone have a smelter? No optimizations or any crazy crap like that. It should be pretty straightforward. Something like the one in the other map actually might do. I might release that as a book. I actually like that smelter. Better to put all the builds together and just run diagonal output through aligned lanes. That's what I'm wondering now. If I just go direct out the butt end. I actually have no idea how I'm going to get... If I was to go out horizontally, I have no idea how I'd do it. The reason why I did it this way was I had an idea that this would go down into a red circuit build and then potentially down into a blue circuit build. Azuri smelter? Which one's that? Is that a late game one? Oh, I can't reuse that one, that spot. Aw. Aw. Honk. Do we go the trouble of making it horizontal again? Calculate iron plate consumption of steel and confusing when also throwing productivity modules. It's basically 1-to-1. Just go with productivity, just keep it at 1-to-1. What in the absolute world, I mean, I've heard of producing 2 full belts green. Oh, well, so we're working towards making 280,000 or 300,000 green circuits a minute. Worst part is it's not even the most green circuits I've ever done. I mean, this is pathetic. This is only 36k at the minute. I'd say 16. I mean, at least it's less than. I suppose it's only like 9 or 8 times as much as what I need now. Yeah, 280,000. Well, might as well just round it up at this point. If you find that amazing, we could go appreciate the what was it? It was 600,000, 700,000 green circuits a minute from another base. Let's try that again. Yeah, right now we're just doing a bit of theory crafting for the actual final product. With these sorts of megabases, you tend to do a lot of theory crafting. So that's why there's creative tools running. And what we'll do is we'll come up with a design which we can then take into the actual map. Yeah, what was it? 267,000. I like how 267,000 became 280,000, which then I rounded up to 300,000. It's a very fine nuclear build, I'm sure you have. Yeah, it was 260,000 just on science alone. What was the other one? Hang on, I do have the thing open. What was it? Circuit 585,283 green circuits. 130 belts. Or 100, I think it was 148 belts in the end. 106. Oh, that's right. I think 116,000 it says here, but I think we actually made it 122,000. What was the blue circuits on that one? I don't remember. It was a lot. I think it was like 4 belts. Or something like that. Might have been double that, actually. Kind of inclined to want to push out that way now. You, come on down. And Bob. Bigger version of the Green River, the Green Avalanche. I think we're working towards Green Lake. Green inland ocean. I have a gap between every 2 builds. Bring the 8th build from outside. Yeah, I only did the gap between each 2 builds just to account for the vertical. If I had the 8 built in here, then there would be no vertical gap. It would be super tight. And then you could have 1 train for every pair line up outside. It's like a green waterfall. Green tide. Looking at the output weaving. Hang on. Gap between every 2 builds. Bring the 8th built from outside. So I could come along and then down. do you mean? Actually, Satisfactory 6 days a year. Ouch. So come along. I could come through for the previous. Ooh, that's a big brain. That's a big brain right there. Might actually work. What I'm seeing is like that. Comes up there. Or maybe more like there. Can I even do that? Ew. Big brain failed. I don't know. I think there might be some merit to it. You're still going to contend with all this crap. Big brain am failing again. I think you need to bring the 8th belt past 2 green assemblers. Satisfactory, it doesn't like Satisfactory. It isn't inherently a bad game. It's just the gameplay is it's not satisfying to play. It's not rewarding. Big brain, am winning again. I am the greatest. Now I leave Earth for no reason. Hugo. I'll make Hugo's back again. Bam. Follow time. Dark Cyberpunk. Welcome on in. We'll make Hugo. Just drop it in on there. Would you go as far as calling it unsatisfactory? I wouldn't call it unsatisfactory. But it's certainly... I see what you did there too. Certainly, it's just... progressing through the game isn't rewarding. Ah, you see, I don't have any room for that. Because it needs that space there. It's unsatisfied. Like, as soon as you need to... The problem with the game is you need to handcraft everything to do the next tier. And then, like, once you get to oil, you're now doing pretty extreme distances, which you can do by car, either do by car or by belt. And car at that stage is really janky. You don't unlock trains until tier 7, so basically, once you've built everything, you then unlock trains to tear everything down and start over again. Sideload directly onto underground in the lower build? I could, yeah. It would save a tile. I could do that. I mean, then it doesn't reach. Details. Playing creative? Currently, yes. We're just theory crafting out a green circuit build. We're trying to get 8 builds into a space that only can support 7. So the plan I had was to weeble wobble the 8th one down into here, rather than trying to jingle jangle all this into it. Don't like our tech advancement. It's terrible. The tech advancement in Satisfactory. It really is, it's terrible. Full compression? I mean, these will never compress. I just don't like the fact that, like, there's a lot of downtime in Satisfactory. That's the thing I don't like. Compressing. Yeah. We've already tried belt weaving with, like, red belts. That doesn't work. This is already fast. This is actually faster than a red belt. It won't work. I had an example. Yes, it's actually falling behind. Tier 2 materials are needed to build Tier 2 machines, but only Tier 2 machines can be built with Tier 2 material. Yeah. So every tier you have to do this cycle of handcrafting. To make steel, you need to handcraft steel. Steel. You can't make a machine which will inherently make it. That's what kills it. It's something that Factorio never did. It was by design. You could use a smelter to make all of your different, you can make the different plates. You didn't need a higher tier machine to make steel plate in this. You could do it in a stone furnace. It was incredibly slow, but you could do it. That's the things that Satisfactory really, I think, fall short on. That's where it really falls over. Yes, yeah. Back to where we're at, I think, for now. Oh yeah, you can complete it without handcraft. It was actually an achievement. It was by design. Well, when I think someone did it. Did Anti-Elite or someone do it randomly one day and then they decided to make an achievement? Automation is encouraged in Factorio, and it's all about improving what you already have. Whereas Satisfactory, you do a tier, you hit a brick wall, and then it basically sends you back to the Stone Age, so you can handcraft up your next tier. You do the next tier, and it sends you back to the Stone Age again, with an even bigger vertical step between the next tier, and then you do that again. You know, you're up to your 4-input assembler machine now. I forget what it's called, and then you have an even bigger wall again. And so the vertical scaling is ridiculous in Satisfactory. Now I've messed something up. That. And that. Even though it isn't actually that. Could have actually squeezed some more space out of that. Blueprint. stupid brain thought. Let's have a look. Huh. Uh-oh. What happened there? I think the paste might be incomplete. The transport belt Mark 1 rapid. What? Assembly machine. Oh, modded. I gotcha. Extended issues, yeah. So the reason why I'm not setting them on the outside is if I get 8 belts down here, then I can condense them down into 8 rows. Ideally these we're always sharing. Oh yeah, that's real. Actuality. Reality. The spot there. If I was so inclined. That means I can pull that one away. That one to there. Bonus can thrown down the gifted sub. Bonus can's paying forward. 64k circus was enough. Yeah, some Sinclair dude did. Some Spectrum user with Spectrum Sinclair RAM anxiety disorder. Why don't I use bots? Bots are worse for UPS. Also, bots means you use... Well, bots can be better for UPS, but it means you end up using a bot sandwich, and those just... Yeah, no one cares about those. I mean, you could just be... Not to... like... piss on anything Neil House does, but like... You just do a bot sandwich, and then... Bot sandwich sounds dirty. Or, I mean, I did sort of do it with the railbus, admittedly, but it was more about the railbus than the actual builds. But like, you just scale up like, you know, you just have this grid, and then you just say, okay, I need this many, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to this one, I need 1, 2 of these sandwiches. You know, you just distribute these sandwiches out, bot/built sandwiches out, and then you say, oh, I need a little bit more. I'll put another one there, and another one there, and another 2 there. Like there's no thinking in it. It's just it's like placing. I'm gonna say placing Lego, but it's more like placing Duplo, really. I like how in the last almost 4 hours we've not really achieved a hell of a lot. Is it technically the same with belts once you build it? That's why I say built sandwich as well. It's when you have... That's why I call it train town. It's when you build these little train towns, each dedicated to one task. Oh yeah, the initial working out's quite fun. It's just that we did the initial working out back in 2017. Skip reading, I think I... have an update. I was just stalling for that. It's possible I missed something. Oh. I see, yeah. Yeah, it's just going on the outside. Which I was trying to avoid that. Yeah, I get what you mean now, but it's... yeah, so that was the thing I was trying to avoid. Having belts on the outside, and then, yeah. I thought a bolt is only limited by the number of bolts. Made it kind of boring. Yeah, and the bolts only work if you keep them in small self-contained networks. I mean, I hate to say it, but I did it here, but there's a reason for that. Because I wanted to minimize oil. And I don't mind doing on oil. Because I don't really care about oil. Like, it's the only way to really minimize everything. Oh yeah, they're effective, it's just that it becomes like just Duplo pieces. Duplo bricks, and you just glue them all together. Yeah, you're right, actually charging. Quite right. Oh, I know why there's a gap there. It's because you can't put undergrounds there. Oh, well. So put it underground. Oh, you can turn it, but... doesn't matter. Let's just try and get this train back on the tracks. At all possible. See if we can make something out of this. And again, distracted enough to forget about your idea. Which one was your idea? Just thinking, why not split the build down the middle and send 4 left, 4 right? Oh, yeah, that was going back to the problem of... I suppose I could unload either side. Ideally, I would go left to right or, you know, end to end with the circuits. I could redo this to do that. I'm worried about length of belt though, that's the only thing. I'm trying to minimize belt length. You know what, I'm actually tempted to redo it so that it's not waterfalling. I might save this one just for blue circuits and red circuits. And also, to save myself the hassle, because this has taken way too long, can I do this? Or is this going to be a major pain in the ass? Also, redundant belts are redundant. So, need to delete every horizontal belt. I feel like there could be a better way of doing this. Delete all of these. Then I can copy and paste it across all of them. Actually, better still. How about we do it this way? The problem is these horizontal ones are gonna become wasted. Yeah, so it should look like that. In fact, make life easy by doing that. Oh, vision. So I think that beacon, not beacon, that I actually don't need that. You belt. Don't need any of them. Concentrating. Concentrate. Hard work. Pay attention. Heist. Test. I think you're in the heist. I'm just putting it out there. Checking if it stacks. It doesn't stack. Okay, I think I got it. Whatever. I get it for him. Stuck here forever now, as the voice said. Yeah, stacks differently to the first one. No. That one is different. Oh, there's a horizontal, that's why. That's why it's so important to get rid of the horizontals. I think I actually got rid of them all this time. Where's that sound from? I feel like it's from Impossible Mission. It's underground in the way. Press underground in the way. Express underground in the way. Oh, there. Okay. We can work with it. Gotta shift click it. Oops. It's a minor detail. Green jam now. Why do I always break it? It's fine. It's just a little bit of an issue. Fine. All I need to do is just change how this comes in. Just get rid of all these. I think that's all of them. Still complain. Get rid of that one. And in the way. There. Press underground in the way. There. Now it should be OP. There we go. This is fine. What are we up to now? 88. Ooh. This actually almost does enough circuits. Almost does enough circuits for the actual base, the final base. I wasn't expecting that. It makes your head hurt. It's not the most intuitive, I will admit, I will give you that. Will the train throughput be enough? Hopefully it will be. I'm going to be pushing them pretty hard though. So the N1 is pretty easy. I mean, I can just move that to there. That's sort of where my mind was going with that one. Gotta be consistent, you know. Guess can always add more trains and parking compensate. Yeah, as long as there's enough. It's the smelting really that needs to keep up. What's that brought a total up to 90? I think 2 of these might actually do it, or be pretty close to. Actually, it might not be because I think this is probably. Maybe. We'll see. So now we just need to get this one here to do its thing. Yeah. Gonna do that. Other than perhaps moving them. Or outside of just moving them. Up and down. Probably the easiest is to do the same thing and do that. Actually reaches. That down. Up Upside down, upside down. Oh, that one was the top, not the bottom. Oh, iron, yeah. Do that. Just a few circuits is fine. And we have to be consistent. Henceforth, they have to be there. There we go. Right, so we should see output on all belts at 98. Ah. Just those 3, 4 to go. Which is just contamination. That's easily fixed. This one's missing a belt. And I think that's all of them. Nope. One more is missing a belt. I mean, it is contaminated as well, but that's beside the point. $108. So 3 of these gives us a bit over 300,000 circuits a minute. Now... this begs the question, going back to here... or back to the... here... circuits... So, what doesn't go into more... One. That one. That in the background? That's Factorio Lab. This is the breakdown of everything. This is the breakdown of everything that's yeah. Okay. Brain. It's a website, Factorio Lab. It's now my go-to. Big circuit throughput it is. It's a lot. So the thing is that blue circuits needs 2 of these things. Blue circuits actually need 2 of these things. There's a different... yeah, there's a new one. It's similar to Kirk McDonald's, but it's a lot less terrible than Kirk McDonald's. Yeah, so this thing needs 125,000. Which is more than what this one build can do. If such a thing was actually possible. This is why I wanted the 8-8 thing going on. The 8 belts in, 8 belts out. For exactly that reason. I mean, this thing eats 8 wagon trains. I don't really want to do 2 of these for blue circuits though. One of them will feed red circuits. And I suppose... so 2 of these could do reds and blue at the same time. Maybe. Direct green into blue. So what I want to do is glue green, glue blue circuits directly into these. But what I'm trying to do is balance them out. So that I don't need splitters and balancers. I think I can't brain it at the minute though. As long as the trains are even, then it's okay. I think. Consumption. 83k, 78k. 109. And what are we even eating right now in terms of trains? So let's keep that one. Let's do this one. Run local and in 2.0 will support mods. What's this? In 2.0. Oh, is that the thingy, the Factorio lab? Yeah, it's a significant improvement over Kirk McDonald's. Kirk McDonald's is pretty awful. It always has been. I hate to say it, but it's true. Like, I hate to piss on the work of those people, but it's just not that good. I can't, I gotta say it, call it as it is. So the next fun part is getting all this in. It was better than nothing. What was it called? Factorio Lab. Yeah, they're right there. Can I merge these like right here? I'm not thinking. Because I could do the half loading at the unloader. Flashing is actually annoying. Where's that super duper substation there? Yeah. Problem solved forever. Go McDonald's. It did. It certainly was an improvement over Doomir. Including permalinks, and the problem is, like, my complaint with it is that it's so laggy to use. Oh, here we go. Nope, you lose. Mixed trains. Trains. And you could alternate. One iron, copper, iron, copper. Oh, but they unload at different rates though. Unless I could ratio the actual difference in material. I didn't like that. Does it set itself as a moderator command? There is also exclamation mark calc. Could overwrite that one. Did it? I don't think it actually added. I think it's exclamation mark command add. Really difficult to balance. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, exclamation mark calc to do the Barry gun. I just saw that on the list. What I could do is, can I side? It's not. I'm sure it's possible. I just can't see it at the minute. Better yet. That permalinks too. I seem to remember using it. Right, duplicating cargo wagon. Oh, there were gaps in it. Ah, there you go. Override stack size. Inventory boxes is a train, 40. 15... Oh yeah, it's true actually. It's a crazy idea and I wouldn't mind trying it. 13... yeah, 11 blocked. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. It could be really interesting. Iron and copper swamped. Have a look. 65, 60. .92. That's slightly different. Trying to think of a, say, lowest common denominator of that. Hopefully, I know there is other crap over here, but I'm pretty sure this thing's just, yeah, it's dead. It's not contributing. Yeah, 1.08, the difference. Yeah, the 1415 is the copper wire, not the iron plate. So you gotta factor in the plate. Otherwise it would be really easy. I like the idea of it though. It does mean the train needs to make 2 stops at the smelter. Fifteen, 14. It's pretty close. I wonder if it'll work. Uh, 15. The other one. I guess it still is 14, 15. Yeah. I thought it was 14, 15 accounting for copper wire and productivity. Or am I... Oh, wait. 16, 15? Where did the base go? Oh, it's just a bit to the left. We're just doing crazy train things now. What was it? That would be 64 and 60. And 15 14s was... Might be onto something there, actually. Problem is, there'll always be a deficit of one of the plate. Unless I can time it so that oh no, you can't really. If it's always short, it's always short. Where'd your beer go? It's an extremely new stream now. Yeah, some face mowing happened. I mean, I really do like the idea of that. It just... I can see it eventually getting stuck on iron over time. It's eventually going to accumulate. Like, I can see it over time, that error accumulating. Ratio would be 15, 10, 3 to 2, but since you've got 14 times, copper cabling ratio 10 or 15, 14. For some reason I keep confusing it with 16, 15 and the 15, 14. Yeah, if there's a rounding error, I can see this gaining iron over time. We can test it and see. I might be wrong. Usually I am wrong. So... Iron. Iron on the left. Copper on the right. Like that. Set to a timed unload instead. Wouldn't it still accumulate over time? Pretty sure this is actually meant to be in the center too. Load check content of both materials and leave when one of them hits 0. Will work too. Just see what happens. I think at the end of the day, just gotta try it and see what happens. Rocket fuel. If you timed it, it would be fine since the smelter just won't output more. Smelter probably is fine with it. I have a feeling it'll just accumulate dead weight over time. I'm not sure though. That's why I say I might be wrong. Actually, it will reach equilibrium, won't it? Reach equilibrium because eventually it'll reach a saturation point. I probably could have thought this out a little bit better. Let's do it on one side. Yeah. It interferes with that one. It wouldn't if it was actually not off by a tile. Ooh, do another one there. Whole build down by tile? Yep. Every time. Wagon setup? They should be. Yep. Oh, it's time again already. Batarius, how you doing? There should be one left over, one wagon. Yeah, the end one. Because there's only 7. So that one then goes down there. Just delete. Oh, Roboport. Like, what did I just pick up? I can't believe I spent 4 hours working on this. I mean, it's a really good result. It's a new design, new innovation. There's no station here. New innovation, new idea, a new something. That's for sure. Say empty cargo for now. As I say, because the RNG on that thing is as wonky as Among Us. You can actually tell Streamlabs' RNG is really wonky by the frequency of the random alerts. That's pretty consistent. Yeah. Like, which is, should be a super rare alert. It happens very alarmingly frequently. Let's just see what happens. It's entirely possible. Entirely possible. Oh, gap. Probably due to that not being the full stack size. Like, this thing will be completely empty by the time the train gets back. Stack size 8, yeah. Should be on 8 and 8, yep. It probably needs a little bit more length in here just to give it a little bit, just to give it some more slack time. It's trying to build. Oh, in fact, it's probably when it backs right up. It gives it. Oh, it's not moving now anyway. And in theory, they're actually getting pretty close to empty. The 108. It's the expected amount. I don't like the gaps though. Then go down one tile before joining? I think so, yeah. I think that that'd be an idea. Like that. Use the splitter trick. Could do. I mean, it's staying. I never really got the splitter one to... no splitters. Never got the splitter thing to work. So I'm kind of averse to it. Save a belt? Nope. Yeah, we are trying to avoid splitters though, for now. I mean, I'm definitely keen on doing a no splitter one and then a splitter one and seeing what the difference is. Like, I'm interested to see what if there is a quantifiable difference when it's all said and done. Kind of tempted to keep those ones going. Someone go up a tile. I'd have to space out the builds to make it go up a tile. It doesn't actually make a difference because the top one's not merging. It's got priority. So adding space to the top one wouldn't do anything. I'm surprised that copper isn't even backing up. Let's play the trick. Yeah, that one's never worked quite right for me. These are not really unbalanced chests. Didn't that one depend on the splitter memory or something as well? I don't actually recall. 2 every 6 seconds. And you see it just stuttering out there because the train's not coming back quick enough. I'm actually draining the chest too quickly. Which means there's possibly an inherent, yeah, there's a little bit of an inefficiency. Yeah, iron's backing up, which I didn't expect. Or copper. No, it is supposed to back up on iron. Never mind, ignore me. I dum-dum. But if you had trains hot loading, it wouldn't be so bad. $105. Split trick works because the inserter can output on both sides of the belts. Oh yeah. Yep. Because there's what is it, there's like 4 tiles either side of the splitter. Orion? Your train should do it. Seeing the train, it doesn't matter at this point because it's... If anything, I'm not unloading fast enough. So look at that, it's... I mean, it's holding more copper than iron. Probably needs a little bit more. I wonder. I mean, it's always going to be copper last because there's more copper on the train than iron. Yeah, a little bit more, did it? It's 2 tiles, really. It's certainly an interesting train configuration. Because yeah, it's 14 and 15, so it's always going to be copper last. 107, 108. The build is pretty wild. It's funny, and then even after saying all that, I could use the space in here to run belts after all, because there's not enough room for the trains anyway. But yeah, you're gonna kill me now. Still nap time, damn it. What's really interesting is that the long term, the error, rounding error doesn't seem to be accumulating. Yeah, you normally have multiple trains, and if you had roll on, roll off, and you had signals to make hot loading a thing, it wouldn't be as much of a problem. I mean, it's very demanding on the train, but it's kind of trying to do that on purpose. I'm just thinking about what to do next. Whether I keep it this thing, or if I change it, increase the spacing, and utilize the space in between for more belts. And then you'll kill me for doing it. Then I could have potentially, I could either do this, or I can separate the trains out again into individual plate. I mean, I do want to keep this one either way, because I like it. So like, that does that, that does that. Just go straight through. Just so I can get a bit of flexibility out of the trains. It's like a pitch for a... Explain why iron is backing up. Relates to rounding errors. Prod bonus for cabling is slightly greater than 1.4. Take a few paragraphs. Train could carry more. It would effectively be dead weight at that point. If you're just carrying more, you're just carrying dead weight. At least that's how I see it. As I say, could be wrong. I tend to be wrong. So iron equals 0 or copper equals 0. Buffer chest? It's already got a buffer chest. Try loading faster. Yeah, I'm just debating. In my mind is debating whether or not to where to take it from here. Whether I do change it to a through, because the 7 is kind of the limiting factor on this one. Because the 7th one needs to all accumulate up there, or accumulate somewhere. At the end of the day, it doesn't look like it's accumulating error. It doesn't appear to be accumulating iron plate over time, which was the thing I was worried about. I mean, if it is, it's probably so probably so minor it'll take, you know, hundreds of thousands of hours for it to accumulate to the point where it's a problem. Yeah, the next step is to have belts in here which inject in. Gaps. Backing up slowly. Yeah, that wasn't there before. That wasn't stopping there before. Okay. Yeah, it is accumulating then. It just hasn't actually reached the chest yet, but it's very, very, yeah, it's just very, very slow. Can't click minimap to navigate to spider. No, sometimes finding spiders is a pain. Train equal? No, it's loaded with 15 iron 14, 15 copper 49, I mean. Because it consumes at 15/14ths. I have a feeling, normally the way you overcome it is by having two different trains. I have a feeling for a hassle-free, like a problem that won't give you any problems, or a solution that won't give you any problems long term, is to have two different trains running at two different rates. Time. It's almost 2 hours again already. Yeah, dang. So much to think about. This has been a very theory crafting run, which I don't normally like doing too much of. I haven't done stuff like this in a long time, admittedly, too. I haven't done real hardcore theory crafting. Two different trains. Component equals 0. Yeah. I mean, eventually, run the prod poster rounds up his game, takes a craft independently, tracks prod boards. Rounds. Oh, yeah, that's right, the rounding thing. It's long forgotten stuff for me. Less than or equal to 0? I mean, if I do that, eventually it'll build up. Turn off trains, forbidden sea. Yeah, it's actually backing up. Oh, it is backing up. See, this thing, this point here has slowly been moving across. Because the iron lane's stopping, the copper lane isn't. Anyway. Probably the last thing I want to try today. Start with a fresh one of these. Put it up here. In the way of all the trees. As you do. So, the one that I've been trying to avoid, that's been suggested a few times, which it is, I guess, viable. Oh, I say I guess. It is actually viable. As long as these are spaced out. I was trying to avoid spacing them out, but if you can't avoid it, might as well. Removal so much better on my map. It's pretty absolute, isn't it? Put it there. I actually need 2. Yeah, so the 8th one comes through here. So... Question is, can I make them all horizontal? First thing I'll do... that. Cambium before bed? Four-dimensional Factorio. Why are the Simpsons called Nepian? They're in on the second tier assemblers. To cut this as well. Cut, I say. I do actually need an eighth. The lady, add the more space. Yeah. Right. I'm just thinking about how to do these. Do this. If it is even possible. So I'm trying to eliminate the downward as well. Now they don't stack neatly? Oh. How do you mean? My brain could be shutting down at this point. Entirely possible. They should up until around here where it needs cleaning up. Yeah, what I'm trying to do is make it a pair. So this is the alternative to try and cram, belt weave and do all kinds of crazy crap. Yeah, that's not really possible. Do something like that. Like that. Oh, then this one needs to be mirrored though. I might do this... I might save this for another time. Because I need to do red circuits still. Yeah, I might save that one for later. Just so I can get some progression happening. Okay, so red circuits of that needs 87,000. God, 106. How many is that? Bad biters. Yeah. Bad biters are dead biters now. Yeah, it's that. What did I say it was? That was either 92 or... Might actually be 80, 92. 87. Oh, 76. One too many. $91. So all those could feed red circuits. It might be in my best interest to feed all of these into red circuits. Like just have... Ooh, hiccups. Have this one feed red circuits. This way to open up the train HUD without clicking on it after entering the locomotive. You can just click on it. The train... As long as you're close to it, you can bring it up. I can do that. You just can't put fuel in it. If that's what you mean. You can use this thing here too. Not that anyone does anymore. Now, generally I have so many trains, and this thing can't divide them up. It's kind of annoying. Ah. You know what? I think one of these builds might just cover red circuits alone. Last count, yeah, 64. Yeah, for me, you very quickly outstrip the need for that train button, that train window, and also I'm averse to it because it was used to kill the game when you opened it. That button's been there since version 13, I think. The problem is that if you had more than like 8 trains back in the day, the game would grind down to one FPS. Anyway... One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9... Rail system is clogged 24/7. 200 trains. Yeah, it's pretty useless once you have more than... Once the scroll bar appears, basically. It's once you have like 3 rows, that's it. Because you can't group or categorize them in any way. Thunder improves when that... Oh, I mean, it's certainly an improvement. You can actually see more. It used to be like 5 per row. I think using rich text would also help. Time. Oh, it is actually stopping time. I might save red circuits for next time. I think, and also between now and next time, I might think about this one. I need to do some benchmarking as well on the smelting. Because I think I'm going to go 8/8 smelting in the end. I see no reason to go... I do tend... Like, the Factorio extender stuff is the only time I've ever done full smelting, full beacon smelting. Normally I do 8/8 smelting. So I think I'm going to stick with 8/8 smelting. It might be more interesting if you had some interesting train stats like total trains travelling versus waiting. How many smelters for blue build 8/8 beacon? Yes. That's the answer to that. For one build it's 7 or 14, I think. Yeah, 14. It's 7 per lane instead of 10 per... 10? It's yes, it's 7 per lane instead of 5 per lane. So it's 14 instead of 10. But 2 belts fit in the space of 1 belt's worth of full beacon smelters. You know things? You know things and stuff. Perfect. Absasandra. Yeah, he is a co-op. It's invited me to games before, actually. Problem is that these are on at, like, stupid o'clock. Yeah, I'm gonna... Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here for today anyway.